Okay, let's dive in. And just a quick note, this deep dive is brought to you by Access Softtech, the premier provider of digital banking solutions. Welcome. So today we're really digging into something that, well, it's been on our minds lately. This kind of strange imbalance, this asymmetry we keep seeing in cyber fraud, especially, with online banking. It's more than just a tech issue, right? Feels like something fundamental is off kilter.
Exactly. That's really what jumps out. The asymmetry. It's this massive gap between how little risk the fraudster actually faces compared to the enormous challenge for everyone trying to stop them. The whole setup feels uneven.
Totally. I mean, picture a classic bank heist, right? From the movies. Sirens, cops swarming the place, huge immediate risk, getting caught right then and there. Serious consequences.
hmm Now, contrast that with someone hitting online banking. There's zero physical danger, obviously, and tracking them down digitally, that's a whole different ballgame for law enforcement, often across borders. For that one attempt, the chance of getting caught in the act is practically zero.
Right. It's the difference between, risking a decade in prison versus, well, like we were saying, maybe the fraud pays for a nice trip. Or they immediately think, okay, that account's done. Who's next for funding this new car? And if an attempt fails, what's the downside? Often it's just, well, didn't work. Grab a drink. Try again tomorrow. Maybe tweak the method a little.
Precisely. It makes it almost like a job with very low overhead and potentially huge returns. That's a really powerful incentive.
And then flip it around and look at the defense side.
Yeah.
The asymmetry is just as stark. You've got banks, you've got users, all trying to defend against, gosh, hundreds, thousands of potential attack methods, different malware, phishing scams, social engineering, people just making honest mistakes. It's like trying to guard this huge castle with, I don't know, a million windows and doors,
Yeah.
and you can't let a single one be unlocked, ever.
Yeah, it's relentless. Where's the attacker? They just need one way in, one weak spot, one password guessed, one employee tricked, one click on the wrong link. That's it. And because failing is so cheap for them, so low consequence, they can just keep trying and trying. Different angles, different targets, until something gives.
Okay, so if that's the set up this massive imbalance, attacker has low risk, tons of persistence, defender has this monumental task. Where does that actually leave us? What do we do?
Well, right now, it means that because the attacker takes on so little risk, the burden, almost all of it, falls squarely on the defense. That's where the energy, the resources, they have to be focused for the time being.
Yeah, we've talked about the bigger picture stuff, right? The systemic fixes needed, like law enforcement getting much, much smarter and faster on digital crime, crossing borders effectively, and the industry itself providing, better, quicker forensic data to help catch these people.
Absolutely. Those things are critical long term, but let's be realistic. Those are huge shifts. Policy changes, international agreements, massive tech upgrades. It involves changing how entire systems work. That stuff isn't flipping the script on this asymmetry overnight or anytime soon, probably.
Okay, so that brings us right back to the here and now. And the takeaway seems to be, given this landscape, this persistent threat where the attacker has so little to lose, defending can't just be about having good enough security. It has to be about aiming for the absolute best possible security you can manage, constantly improving.
hmm Because if the bad guy gets thousands of free attempts and only needs one win, good enough just won't cut it, will it? It's almost guaranteed to fail eventually. You have to push higher, try and close every single one of those windows and doors, even knowing you might miss one.
So thinking about this fundamental asymmetry, the attacker's easy ride versus the defender's uphill battle, what does that really mean for you listening to this, just using your online bank account day to day? Does understanding this imbalance maybe change how you think about digital trust or the security steps your bank takes or even your own habits online?
Yeah, it's a tough one. If cyber fraud really is this kind of no risk, high reward career path right now, and those big systemic fixes are still way down the road, how do we, collectively start to close that gap? And what does aiming for the best security, even knowing perfection's impossible, actually accomplish in this ongoing fight?
Something to chew on, definitely.